Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Shamir Karkal. Shamir Karkal is a co-founder and the CEO of Sila and a true FinTech pioneer. Sila is a FinTech software platform that provides payment infrastructure as a service, a business-critical element for all companies that need to integrate with the U.S. banking system and blockchain quickly, securely, and in compliance with applicable U.S. regulations. Shamir co-founded Sila in 2018 with the goal of empowering financial innovation and supporting entrepreneurs who want to build a new financial world. In 2009, he co-founded Simple, the first bank of its kind in the United States. In doing so, he played a crucial part in building the infrastructure that would pave the way for online banking. After BBVA acquired Simple, he headed the open platform at BBVA. Well, good afternoon, Shamir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Brian. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Exciting. Again, get to traverse the United States today. A lot of times I traverse the globe having these podcasts, but so glad to meet you and just so glad to start to get into some of these questions so we can share your story with our audience. And so, Shamir, you've got quite the career in technology. You're a serial entrepreneur, a board member, and now the co-founder and CEO of Sila. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Oh, that's a great question, Brian. I think really what's driven me through most of the last 20 odd years of my career has just been a sort of curiosity more than anything else, right? I always wanted to know the answers to things, to understand how things worked, and to help people solve problems. My background is in computer science and physics, and I used to be a software engineer at the start of my career. Then kind of drifted into financial services, and from there jumped into the fintech startup world with my first startup, Simple. And then I've been doing that one way or the other for the last, I guess 12, 13 years now. And I think it's really that kind of like the curiosity, the drive to try and find the answers to those questions, and then to help people solve problems. That's what's kept me going through all the ups and downs. And I think what inspires me is when I see people do things and take on humongous problems and find really innovative solutions to them, right? In kind of the platform world, I draw inspiration from the success of companies like AWS and Twilio, who built massive platforms, starting from pretty much nothing. And then there's folks like Elon Musk, right, who started his career in financial services as well, but is now trying to solve, getting to Mars and fixing the transportation problem and so many other things. So those are the sorts of stories that inspire me.
That's awesome. And like many entrepreneurs, Shamir, people are set out to help others or to find a solution to a problem. So appreciate your story, your uniqueness to this world that you've contributed to. So thank you. And Shamir, talk to us a little bit more about how you are innovating and modernizing the ACH to accelerate innovative customer use cases with entirely new ways to move money with code.
Oh, yes. ACH itself is a very, very large payment system. It's the largest retail payment system in the US, just by the numbers. Last year, the ACH system moved about $73 trillion of money. And in comparison, the card networks in the US moved about $9 trillion, right? So ACH is quite a bit larger than the card networks. And it's how everybody's payroll gets paid. A lot of your bill payments get made via ACH. And it's typically not used for sort of day-to-day purchases. So you wouldn't pay with ACH when you're buying your $5 coffee, but a lot of mid-sized transactions end up going over ACH. Payroll, of course, is being just one example of it. And it's a system that's been around for about 50 years now. And it's very, very antiquated. I mean, it doesn't just predate the internet era. it predates the personal computer era. It came about in the early 70s when a bunch of banks in California tried to find a way of just clearing payments more efficiently than doing it via checks or clearing drafts. Right? And that's still the basic architecture of the system. It's a batch-based overnight system. It's nothing like the real-time internet world that we all live in today. At the same time, it's also ubiquitous. It connects every bank account, and it's very very heavily used in business, right? So you have this old, outdated, slow, but ubiquitous and quite powerful payment system. And you have the modern world where everybody lives on their mobile phone, everybody's using an app, and all those app developers want to be able to move money just like they move email and messages and data and images and all the other things, right? They want to be able to program with money just like they program with an image or anything else. And yet the world of money is so much harder and so heavily regulated. That's really where we come in. We offer a set of APIs, application programming interfaces, which app developers can connect into and use it to onboard their customers, which we call end users, right? Individuals or businesses, verify their identity because that's a huge part of all the KYC and all the regulation out there. Verify customer identity, link customer bank accounts through one of our partners like Plaid or MX, and then pull money in from those bank accounts via ACH, hold it in our ledger and program with it, transfer it, run some sort of a funds flow. And at the end of that funds flow, pay out somebody else, right? Whether that's running payroll, whether that's buying a cryptocurrency, or whether that's paying somebody's bill. And all of that is possible through our APIs. And it enables app developers to focus on what they know how to do, which is build a great interface and a great experience for customers without having to understand things like how does KYC work and how do ACH returns work and all the complexity of the financial system. A lot of which is very hard for modern developers to understand because it's been built over like 50 years.
You're absolutely right. And I love how you're taking an antiquated system and really making it that next 2.0 and improving on it. So, and there's so many tools out there and APIs today that people can leverage and focus on and do the things that they do best. So they don't have to worry about how the underlying, transport protocol or layers work. So I appreciate you sharing that. And Shamir, that's really a segue into my next question here. You're obviously leveraging some new and emerging tech within your tech stack. Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Oh, yes. So, I mean, in some ways, we use a lot of the technology that has become standard over the last 10 years, right? So our platform is pretty much everything is hosted on AWS. So we are cloud native and all our APIs are cloud hosted. Most of our code is written in Python, and we even have a few pieces of it which is open source on GitHub, so that folks can explore that. The we actually have a backend on Ethereum, which is a blockchain, and we operate some smart contracts on that as well, for which some of our customers use. We've always been crypto friendly from the start. We serve customers in the fintech space, in the crypto space, in the traditional financial services space, as long as it's legal and and they need our APIs. We're happy to serve them. And beyond that, we focus a lot on risk management and fraud prevention in the ACH space, right? This is a growing problem for everybody in the payments universe, right? Not just on ACH, but on all the other payment systems as well, but also on ACH, of course. And it's a problem that's just gotten bigger. ACH and card fraud and every other type of fraud, check fraud, for example, existed 10, 15 years ago, right? But since the pandemic 3 years ago now, the explosive growth in online payments has also come with an explosive growth in online payment fraud. And so it's almost like a a standard journey for all of our customers that, they build an app, they ship it, they start scaling, and then they run very, very quickly into their first, fraud attack. And there's so many different types out there. We could spend hours just talking about fraud. But what we have done over the last couple of years is build out a suite of tools to help our customers manage that fraud, because it's always a trade-off. You want to onboard that end user, verify their identity, and move their money in as frictionless and as quick a way as possible. Right? Everybody wants everything instantaneously, and we respect that, we understand it, and we want to enable it. At the same time, you also want to manage the fraud risks, and the faster you do things, the easier it is for fraudsters to sort of like get money through the system and launder money or defraud people, right? So it's always a balance between an easy to use experience and how you actually minimize fraud. And we built a bunch of tooling around that, and we leverage a lot of industry best practices and fraud tools.
Thank you, Shamir. Yes, it's so important. As you know, Shamir, I'm in the tech space too. We talk about tech and we talk about guests in cybersecurity every day here, and there is certainly a challenge. It's certainly a balance for sure. So appreciate you sharing some of the platforms and technologies you're using today. And so, Shamir, last question: if you could briefly share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either tech or entrepreneurship.
So much, Brian. But I guess just like right now, I mean, this is late 2022, and if you're in the crypto space, there's been FTX and BlockFi and a bunch of other major bankruptcies and probably fraud in the space. But we're also in the middle of a downturn in the stock markets, maybe a looming recession, and interest rates at pretty high levels. So there was a huge boom in everything from like real estate to startup valuations in the private funding market, were sky high in 2021, and like right now, it feels like everything is at the bottom of the ocean, right? That the stock market is still pretty depressed for the year, and the housing prices are going down, and private company valuations are down as well as are public, right? And so it can feel like the world is ending to some people, right? But those of us who have been around for a while and remember the great financial crisis of 2008, or even the dot-com bust of 2001, it's this is just a cycle. And the important thing is not to lose your focus in the middle of a down cycle, right? It's also important not to lose it at the top of the up cycle, and think that just because your stock is heavily valued or whatever, that you rule the world. That wasn't true a year ago, and right now, just because all the valuations out there are beaten down, it's not the end of the world either. Especially in the startup world where I operate, and I have a bunch of friends and even investments in startups. I talk to people all the time, and the advice I give them is that this is a really bad environment to be raising money in, but it's actually a very good environment to be building in. And it'll be a bad environment for fundraising and a good environment to build for probably the next, I don't know, 12, 18, 24 months. I don't know how long, right? I can't time the market any better than anybody else. But the important thing is to just keep your focus, keep building. And if you're thinking of starting up a company, it's a great time to start. It's going to be a lot harder to raise money. At the same time, it'll probably be a lot easier to build, to ship, to find customers, and to build a business that's sustainable and long lasting.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. And there's been a lot of influx in the economy as far as the financial realm as you went through. And you're right. You actually have to have basically that beacon or that light, set those goals and be patient and work through it and continue with your mission, because there's going to be upturns and downturns. So thank you. And Shamir, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you for having me, Brian. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Bye for now.